Hello and welcome to Business Over Coffee. Today's topic is, what is the best field of study in today's economy? Very intriguing. Stay right where you are. We are back, and I am so pleased to introduce a professor that I hold in high esteem from the University of Memphis. And Shelley, you knew Frances before I knew Frances, and it's Frances Fabian, drum roll.
Yes.
And I would like you, Shelley, to introduce Frances and tell us how you know her and what she does.
Well, I met Frances through the University of Memphis, surprise, surprise. I do a lot of mentoring and whatever at the business school, and Frances, by teaching entrepreneurship, naturally, I was just drawn to her, and we actually met first at the National Association of Women Business Owners,
I believe we did. That's
so
right.
she's had
Networking.
Yes.
That's what we're
And
doing.
she, of course, is always trying to build community for the university and for the students that she teaches. She has invited me and many others in the community to come speak to her courses so they can get not only the academic side of entrepreneurship, but the application of entrepreneurship and how we make choices about the decisions we're going to make. So
Right,
she's
and
the guru on that.
Frances, you so graciously invited me as well. Last year, I had the opportunity to come in and speak to your group.
I think we had at least twice I've had you come in.
Yes, that's right. And Cheryl Hurley, actually. Cheryl Hurley with SQ Modern Media.
Good.
She
Always promote my students.
Yes, she is phenomenal and went through our Professional Boost program, which is an internship. And I really want to thank you for that because she is such a blossoming entrepreneur.
Isn't she amazing?
She really is.
So take us on the journey of what you do at University of Memphis, and then we're going to really zero in on the topic of today.
Okay, well, the University of Memphis, of course, I'm in the business school, so I will do my best to remove any biases in regards to the best field, because I actually do believe that there's a lot of fields that you can come from. But we have an entrepreneurship program, and we also have an actual career-driven MBA program where there's funding for a few entrepreneurs who have a business idea that they want to launch. So I want to make sure people are aware that if you actually have a great business idea, you may be able to get a funded MBA. It's a very small program. It's about 2 or 3 students a year. But we also have an entrepreneurship for the undergraduates. And so I do a very introductory types of courses in those venues. What I really like is kind of making a two-pronged approach. One is you have to read a textbook and you have to kind of master a vocabulary. I know, they hate that. And I tell them that. I said, okay, I know you don't like to do it, but you're going to do a multiple choice, but you need to know what a, S corporation
You're
is.
dealing with
You
entrepreneurs.
have to do
That's
that.
right.
Creative attitudes,
But
creative
at
spirits.
least
I got
half
it.
the other part of the course is to bring in actual speakers, because I really believe the biggest obstacle is having role models, somebody that you feel like, well, if this person did it, I can do it. So I take that list of speakers and I get different business models, whether it's a franchise, I could get a shingle hanger, I can get somebody who's starting a new high-tech startup. I try to get all those different things. I also try to vary demographics by age and backgrounds, and I also, which is the hardest part, I try to actually get different personalities. So if you're a slightly wonkish, introverted entrepreneur, you're probably on my list, or I'd like to get you, because I'm always trying to make sure that students will say, you know what, I actually now do relate to that particular person. There's the myth out there that everybody who's an entrepreneur is this charismatic leader. Before I finish, I want to put a plug in. There is a lot of work going on in the University of Memphis in entrepreneurship. So we have a Center for Entrepreneurship innovation. That's worked through the University College. We also have just launched the Cruise Laboratory, or incubator. And so the Cruise Incubator will be for faculty and students. So if you want to get a hold of some of these resources, you'll need to team up with some Memphis student to try to get access. It's like an incubator.
My mile protege, maybe.
There you
got
go.
it. That's exactly it.
And when you say cruise, you're talking about CREWS.
That's
okay,
correct.
I was thinking, I'm ready to get on board, Frances.
We are going on the river up in that. No. Actually, this is CREWS is the name for the funder, and we are very thankful for that. The other thing I want you to know is our new provost is very interested in making a university-wide type of entrepreneurship exposure. So I can't say much about that because it's the early seeds. But that's how serious we are. We're talking about not just business students, but we're looking at what kind of program or course can we give to every student at the university that will expose them to entrepreneurship. So
Outstanding.
I cannot tell you enough that University of Memphis is really trying to be on the cusp of how can we help promote the growth of this community through entrepreneurship.
Yes, and let's segue into the topic of today, which is really a dialogue. There's really no set answer for what is the best field of study in today's economy. We know what the economy looks like today, and so there's so many fields of study out there. Based on the information you have working with entrepreneurs, and Shelley, you're involved with a MILE program and many other areas with professionals. You guys give me some feedback on what would be the best field of study for someone, starting with Shelley.
Okay, well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tee it up with the psychology of how we're made and the decisions that we make. There are many fields of study that people can go into successfully, and my own career in entrepreneurship has been about flexing with the economy and remaking myself to adhere to this little diagram that I'm going to share with you.
Evolving.
That's right, evolving,
Yes.
evolving. And so imagine a ring over here, which is where you're really good at something. Like for me, I know that presenting is something that I do well, that teaching presentation skills, coaching people in communication, that's something I do really well. And it comes under the aegis of leadership development, but that's my specialty.
Right.
Okay, and then over here is, what am I passionate about? Well, I am passionate about building people for life and leadership. And guess what? Communications is
There's a
real
match.
key. I mean, foundationally, not just for leaders, but just to be able to succeed in life.
Living
So here-
on purpose.
Living on purpose, yes ma'am. So over here you've got the skills, over here you've got the passion, and then under here what's really critical and is going to segue into what you say next is, what is the marketplace buying? Where these circles intersect one another is what I call the sweet spot, where you can do what you're good at, what you love, and what the market will buy. So that's my setup. There are many, I have switched from building people for life and leadership over to the marketing side. I happen to be adept in both areas, but what I'm really passionate about, just like with you, is seeing the light bulbs go
Love
off.
that.
Seeing the
Isn't it great?
shift, seeing people come into their own voice, into their own authenticity. So that's my setup for the field of study, is to do something that you can authentically do with passion and that you're good at, or you're willing to devote your study to becoming good at it.
So what I'm hearing you say is to tap into the gifting that's on the inside of you.
Amen. Absolutely.
So find out what that is. Now, Frances, seeing that you work with entrepreneurs constantly, how do you get them to go down that path of discovering who they are and what they need to do?
Well, believe it or not, often it is just asking people, what is it that you would like to change? Or what is it that you think people need or that you want to have different? And it can be something very prosaic. I have a student who's interested in a new technology in regards to lighting at night, okay? So that would mean he needs to be involved with engineering. Right? Another person's doing social media and building Memphis for young professionals. So of course she's going to have to be accepting and available to the IT world. if she really wants to cover social media, as well as communication, of course. If somebody else is doing a medical device for surgeries, but that person has nothing to do with medicine, he is the marketing person. So, on the other hand, another person that he's working with is the medicine person. I want that person who's the medicine person know everything there is to know about surgery and abdominal cavities. Believe me, the pictures were very entertaining. But, you know, it's something that you have to be the best. That's why I tell my students, I say, you know, especially you're 21. I said, you start now at learning a little bit. I don't care if you're a landscape company. If you're a landscape company, you need to know about funguses and mildews. You need to know about mowers and mower companies. You need to know about customer relations and accounting. But if you start now reading your trade journals on molds and mildews and funguses and pesticides, and you say, well, I don't know anything about those things.
Get a degree.
You start, you can get a degree, and you start now. In 10 years, I promise you'll know something. But you make it a part of your life. So the degree, any degree can get to entrepreneurship, but it is going to be this passion. It's going to be a decision that you're taking this to a marketable place. And I think that's one reason we're looking at a university-wide approach. You know, we had a period of history where you got the college degree and you got interviews with corporations and you got a job. And then you ask, well, what multiple choice box do you want me to do now?
Right.
And we cannot have this, and the students are realizing that. They're like, wait a minute, you know, this is not connecting. So
one of the things that I did as a consultant was to work with the largest outplacement firm in the world to help people in transition who had been ripped from these jobs. And, you know, and often at a very young age. And so the opportunity to teach them something about entrepreneurship so that they could look at franchising, they could look at a consultancy, they could look at a variety of options and open their minds to what's out there, and not just going back into a corporate environment.
And I'm very big on action, right? So start doing, you're an English major, and it's, oh, there's nothing for English majors. Nobody wants English majors. No, that's not true. You obviously have something that you're good at writing. So now, what is it you like to write about? Now start that blog.
Amen.
You know, and start action. Well, I don't know what kind of money's going to come from that. No, you don't. But PewDiePie has the highest YouTube audience in the world. And you know what he does is he plays video games and does voiceovers on them. So he's a multi-millionaire, this silly Scandinavian doing voiceovers on video games.
So you really tapping into what you can do on the inside of who you are helps you to evolve to what you do. And when you talk about blogging, of course you're talking my language in the social media world, I've heard about journalism. It used to be a really popular field of study to go into journalism. And now I've heard that it's not so popular. What's your take on that?
I think depending on how people have been leveraging their degrees, then the degree gets a reputation one direction or the other. I think right now we're in a period where there's some cynicism about the mainstream media, which is, to me, that should say journalism is great, because now there's all these competing streams of media at the same time.
This is true.
But we also, you know, I look at how they talk about what companies are doing and trying to figure out how to put forth new products and innovate. And you know who's getting jobs for the first time? Sociologists, anthropologists, people who start asking those questions of how does our product better serve somebody? What is it these people do with their lives? How do people use their time? And so the sciences that we for a while felt were kind of politicized and out there are now becoming much more useful in trying to figure out, again, I have a very positive view of entrepreneurship, because to me, business is about meeting a customer's need. So the question will be, who can discover that? And perhaps maybe journalism has gotten
how to ask the questions.
Yeah, they ask the questions, or they already have an answer, and that doesn't work if you're not asking the questions. So any of the sciences that will get people to start trying to understand how do we serve customers better.
And I have to add that psychology was my undergraduate degree, and my intent was to be a clinical psychologist and have my master's at the age of 21. And along the way, I went, wait a minute, I don't want to be working with sick people. I mean, and now I know, thanks to Strength Finders, that positivity is one of my 5 strengths. No wonder I didn't want to be around sick people. I want to take the healthy people and help them get to the next level.
I had the same problem with veterinarian medicine, so I was a big animal lover. I still love my animals.
Right.
And then I went, well, I don't want to be around sick and dying animals.
I want to be riding healthy horses.
Well, I guess when my retirement will be somewhere with multiple kennels and I don't know, raised dogs or something.
Well, we always have those sweet spots, as you put it, Shelley, that we discover through life, and some sooner than others. And I must add that it's never too late to go back to school.
Oh my gosh,
Heavens, no. I mean, entrepreneurs are required to be flexible and malleable in change. I mean, the conversation that we had with Mary Singer, she reinvented herself after years in commercial real estate and facilities management, and now she's following her passion for sustainability.
Right, exactly. So as we end this segment, Shelley, take us into some of the points that you told me you had some secret points you wanted to point out.
Well, let me ask one of the things. I tell my students 3 things. They must be lifelong learners. They must be able to continue in setbacks and failure. But networking and collaboration is key.
Absolutely.
I understand you all have something that I may be able to use in my classes. The power of collaboration in business.
Yes,
Does this ring a bell to you?
You know, Frances, we're going to have you on as our host.
Well, actually, the power of collaboration was Sherri Henley's brainstorm, and she invited 8 of us to write a chapter in the book. Really, my story came out of putting together Business Network International and Business Over Coffee and allowing them to see where their sweet spots were. And yes, some people could say, oh, well, they compete. No, they don't.
No, there's never a need to worry about that.
That's right. So it's where they could be bigger by coming together. And for me, it was a joy because I love both of these women and I respect both of these women, for them to come to their own understanding of how they could really just make the city a better place.
Absolutely. Jana Cordona, who's the regional director of BNI, and it can best be illustrated by, I'm an entity, you're an entity, you're an entity. Let's all join and link arms.
That's right.
Okay, when we link arms and then we pull on one another.
We're a whole lot stronger.
You feel that strength?
Yes.
Oh yeah, nobody's getting through this.
That's how collaboration works, and it's amazing how we are bringing everyone together, and it's because all of us are working together. Yesterday on social media, we got a statement on there, and I find that a negative or a positive is great online because you can counteract that. And one of the statements was, collaboration is for the elitists that are only allowed in this one group.
Oh no.
Yes, and the statement was, you need to be a cooperative group. And my response to that was, you're absolutely right that without cooperation, you do not have a collaboration.
Right, that's correct.
That's true. And my whole come from in the book is that we've got to get real clear about what our specialization is. I like to say specialize or die.
What do you bring to the table?
That's right. And then strategize with whom you might have previously seen someone as a competitor and go, wait a minute, this is where we can work together and deliver some bench strength. So for instance, let's say I want a really big contract and I can't possibly do it all nationally. So I need to be able to have people that I can pull in, and quite frankly, I now have 3 clients that have asked me to develop, well, they asked me about licensing rights for integrity-based communications, and I went, you're the first, you're the second. When it's the third, I was finally paying attention.
Now I'm seeing a pattern.
And now Train the Trainer is in the works. So but I can't do it all by myself. I haven't figured out the power of bilocation.
No, it doesn't
But
happen
collaboration and is the outcome of thinking through what you really, really want to do, what makes your heart sing, and where you can find the partners who can work with you and link arms, and that's where the collaboration
And for all
really
those
works.
those natural science type people out there, so I'm a strategy person originally. What was the big word? Synergy. Well, what was synergy about? Bring two things together and you get more than the sum of the parts. I'm a believer in that. I know enough about nonlinear types of dynamics and how that actually happens. And it is really, people who think we're going to bring it together and this is going to pull from me, they just don't understand how resources and interactions work. And there's always enough market. Never have to worry about, well, we're gonna fill this market, because we can always grow a pie, and our collaboration will help us grow that pie together. Some people say collaboration is elitist. It's probably because they've lived somewhere else. This is the most welcoming community. I have yet to go to an organization that didn't make me feel like I was somebody important to them. And I'm thinking, this is so strange. But we have more organizations, by the way, than any city I've ever been in. So I've been with theater, and I've been with flight and pilots, and then I went to MAGS, which is our Memphis Archaeology and Geology Society, great group of people. I'm thinking, everywhere I go, it's a very welcoming and open environment. I think it's a culture of Memphis that we need to let the world know out there that this is the kind of city Memphis is.
I agree. We were voted number 2 in hospitality. Memphis.
Well, we should have gotten first.
Who is number 1, Sherri?
I'm not sure about that.
See, it's forgettable.
There you go. Wrapping up on this segment, thank you so much. We will be back with Patrenna Singletary from the National College of Business and Technology, Memphis campus. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Business Over Coffee. Sherri Henley with you with my co-host Shelley Baur. We are so pleased to be talking today about a very important subject, and that is, what is the best field of study in today's economy? We have Patrenna Singletary with us today.
Hi.
Who is a professor with National College of Business and Technology on the Memphis campus, as well as other things that you do with the college there, and also the founder and CEO of Michael D. Singletary Foundation.
That is correct.
Correct?
Yes, that is.
So, Shelley, you met Patrenna a while back as well, and both of you serve with BoC I Executive Council with you, advisory with
Council.
you. So let's talk about how you guys connected first.
Well, this is the first place we
Exactly.
connected, and it was really exciting.
Yes.
And you can imagine with a company, with a college name, a business and technology is like, I was all ears.
Yes.
But she is so much more than just that title would imply. So
you.
I'm looking forward to this interview, as a matter of fact.
Thank you, Shelley.
Yes, so tell us about that so much more.
So much more. Well, I'm thinking about that too, Shelley. Well,
For instance, the foundation. I mean,
Yes, most definitely.
talk about that for a minute.
I most definitely will, and thank you for that lead-in. I'm so very proud of the Michael D. Singletary Foundation. It was a labor of love, to be truthfully honest. It was something that well, first of all, before I even go into that, I guess I would need to explain my role at National College of Business and Technology. I am the business department chair, and my purview is being over the management program, the logistics supply chain management program, and the accounting program. And as such, I have some team members that teach those particular classes. And we wanted to better prepare the students of National outside of the classroom, because we know about the job market and how hard it can be sometimes to find a job. So we thought it would be best to develop what we called social skills workshops. And we did that on Saturdays, which would, be a little bit more comfortable for the students. And we taught them effective networking skills, financial management skills, life skills as a whole.
Right. You were gracious also to invite the Professional Boost interns with BoC I to
most
this
definitely,
as well.
Most definitely, and got really good feedback from it. So, that was, a really good thing, and I'm thankful to you guys for doing that. And we also had an internship program too that evolved from that.
We did.
So, I just was just very thankful to be a part of the Business Over Coffee International organization and to help in that manner. But because of the social skills workshop, we would have mixers, business mixers and things of that nature. And our regional director, Mrs. Cindy Perdue-Moore, came down, and Dr. Gary Adcox, who is over the Tennessee Proprietary Business School Association.
I had the
And,
honor of meeting him the other day
there
in
you
Nashville.
did. Most definitely.
Yes.
And they liked what they saw, evidently, because I got a tap on the shoulder saying, hey, we want you to do this for the 33 member colleges of the Tennessee Association of Independent Colleges and Schools.
You go, girl.
So I take no credit. It's definitely a team effort, and it all evolved around an idea to want to better help the students, with the social skills workshop. So
Which,
we're just
that's
saying,
your passion.
Yes, that is my passion.
Yes.
Definitely my passion. And for a long time, I didn't know what my passion was. So now I think I have found it. And I decided to name the overall group, turn it into a nonprofit organization, and name it the Michael D. Singletary Foundation in honor of my deceased brother, who was a believer in education. So that's how that came into play. So that's some of my hats that I wear. So.
Sure, and another hat that you wear before we get into the meat of this topic is that you are the regional director
Yes,
of
ma'am.
BoC I Nashville, which
Regional.
is exploding.
Exactly.
Just tell
Oh my
us in
gosh,
about
we're
10
so
seconds
excited.
how we're doing in
Oh,
Nashville.
We're doing great. That's it.
There you go.
We're doing great. Team
But
Nashville.
you just had a great event with
Yes,
SunTrust,
we did.
and
we
it was
did.
excellent.
But she gave me 10 seconds, so I couldn't talk about it all. But I want to talk about that. Oh my gosh, we had a wonderful time at the Palm. I love saying it that way. The Palm
Yes.
Restaurant with SunTrust Bank in Nashville, Tennessee. So many of the Team Nashville members were able to come out and participate. We met a great many officers and from the SunTrust Bank as a whole. And I just love what they're doing with businesses as a whole, the services that they have to offer. And we're looking to do more with them.
Right, and a shout out to Nicole Harrison,
That's
who is also
right.
a key player
Yes,
in
yes,
Nashville,
yes.
chapter leader.
Love you, Nicole.
Absolutely.
Great job. She is over the Hendersonville and Clarksville chapters, and we just so love Nicole and all that she's doing. And the pictures by images of Shelley.
Charlene.
We've got pictures to that effect and everything, so everything went really, really well.
We all came together as a team, which is
Yes, most
magnificent.
definitely.
It was
Well,
fabulous.
Most definitely.
That's what we're known for.
Exactly.
Collaboration,
That's right.
bringing everybody together.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
right.
I love it. The mission.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what is the best field of study in today's economy?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be biased on that one.
Sure.
As an educator, a business educator, I would have to say business because you would have to have some form of business knowledge in whatever you do, whatever you decide to do.
That's very true.
Now, in Memphis as a whole, we're known for logistics and supply chain management. FedEx, thank God for FedEx, has put us on the map as it pertains to overnight services and things of that nature, which is a part of supply chain and logistics as a whole. So we are the hub of America as it pertains to logistics. So first and foremost, for Memphis in particular, that would be a very good field to go into. Healthcare is always a good one. There's so many layers into healthcare that you can go into. At National College, we have the medical assisting program, pharmacy tech, just HIT, health information and technology. So it's also known for healthcare at National College. So it's just so many different avenues that you can go into. And but I would still say, no matter what, I'm old school, definitely business. You would have to have some business mindset.
Shelley, what's your take on that?
I love business, obviously. I have been a business owner since 1986.
Right.
What I think you are doing with this dimension of adding the life skills
Yes.
is teaching flexibility,
There you
teaching the
go.
ability to network and see where it goes with you. Are you doing anything with LinkedIn
Oh,
specifically?
you bet. You
Good.
bet. That is a part of my curriculum. I teach
Excellent.
management classes. We're
Excellent.
doing LinkedIn. We're doing Twitter. We're getting into Facebook a little bit more from a business point of view because
Right.
a lot of times people
Absolutely.
think of Facebook and hanging out with my friends and all of that good stuff.
Right.
No. We want them to look at it from a point of view that it can be used as a very instrumental social media platform to
Yes.
promote your business.
With social media intelligence.
There you
That's
go.
so
That's it.
important
That's
that they
it in a nutshell.
understand that what
Yes.
you write is written in pen, not in pencil.
There
That's
you
right.
go. That's it
right.
in a
And
nutshell.
that can really follow them and haunt them as they
Yes.
seek careers. Are you also introducing to them, and forgive me for not knowing this, but
no,
this
no.
is an opportunity for all of our viewers to learn
Exactly.
about the entrepreneurial component of business.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's the thing, because of course, by us teaching the management classes, we have classes that are devoted to that, like small business management, and I've got organizational management and leadership and things of that nature.
Good.
So we have that already built into the curriculum. Plus, we have partnered with Business Over Coffee International. We have you guys to rely on and come and talk to us and participate in the activities that are offered here at Business Over Coffee International. So we just got the best of both worlds,
Good.
Shelley. We really do.
Have you partnered at all with Frances Fabian?
No, I would love to meet her, love to partner with her as well, do some things, because we have gone on field trips before to the University of Memphis. Have not had the pleasure of meeting Frances, but hopefully sometime
You
soon.
all were two ships that passed
I
right
know.
here
That's
today.
right.
Oh my gosh, I hate
Well,
that.
she does a crackerjack job in specifically in entrepreneurship
Oh,
at the
really?
University
Oh,
of
yes.
Memphis. So
Most
you
definitely.
guys definitely need to connect.
Want to know her.
Tell us about your new high-tech location.
Oh my gosh, we're proud. Can
should
I brag
be.
just a little bit?
You're
Can I brag
beaming.
just a little bit?
Absolutely.
I know, right? The instant smile there. Brand spanking new, $5.5 million building. Yes.
Drum
I just
roll.
had to say that. I
Yes,
had to say that.
it's an
Yes.
amazing facility.
It is. Smart boards,
Yes.
the whole nine, lots of room. You know, and I just love it because of the fact that we waited so long, you know, first and
Yes.
foremost for this to happen. And we can do so much more. We can offer so much more. And we have opened the doors to the business community so that any function that you would need for meetings and workshops and things of that nature, we're here, we're available. And that's what I
Highly
love about
recommended,
that.
too.
I love about that more so.
So where are you located?
We are located at 2576 Thousand Oaks Boulevard. Thousand Oaks Cove, I'm sorry. Turns into a cove. It's still Thousand Oaks Boulevard, but it deads in into a cove, and we're to the right of the dead end there. The
You
cove.
can see the college from the interstate
Yes.
right here in
at the
Memphis,
Perkins
Tennessee.
exit. You can see it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So is it on the downtown side of the expressway or on the hotel side of the expressway?
Hotel. Well, no, it's not on the hotel side. It's I guess the opposite side of the
Good.
hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
If someone's interested in National College of Business and Technology, where would they need to go, Patrenna?
Well, we have a website. Go to www.national-college.edu. Again, that's www.national-college.edu.
Excellent. Shelley, would you wrap us up?
Sure. You know, I have to do this because I don't think Patrenna has seen this yet.
I have not.
We have a star in our midst.
Oh,
Her
really?
name is Sherri Henley, and she's the co-founder of Business Over Coffee. And she was
can link arms.
invited.
right?
She was invited to contribute a quote to this book called 50 Seeds of Greatness by Jermaine Moody.
Yes,
And
out
I'm
of Chicago, I
out of,
believe.
yeah, out of
Oh my
Chicago,
gosh.
king of networking. And
Fantastic.
this book represents 100 countries represented. Every second is a new opportunity to blaze a trail of greatness for others to lead when your memory is a legacy.
Wow.
Now that's just part of the quote. That was the
Outstanding.
end of the quote. And she is representing the United States opposite the country of Macedonia.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There's 700
cool is
pages in
that?
this book, so it's highly
Wow.
recommended.
Yes,
you can
indeed.
find it online at 50seedsofgreatness.com, and that's a shout out for
Fantastic.
Jermaine Moody right there.
There you go.
So thank you, ladies. Thank
You're
you for
very
being our guest
welcome.
today.
Not a problem
Patrenna
at all.
Singletary.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And
Good to be with
Shelley,
you.
Thank you.
we bring to the table connections, collaboration, exposure, and business.
Amen. And technology.
There you go. And I invite you to go to our site at businessovercoffee.com and set up your complimentary profile. We want to see you. We want to meet you. We want to learn about you and your profession or business. I'm Sherri Henley with my co-host Shelley Baur, and we are signing off for today. Thank you for joining us, and continue bringing everyone together. God bless.